Hi, everybody. I'm Geoff Ginsburg. I'm at Duke University, where I direct the Center for Applied Genomics and Precision Medicine. I'm also a professor of medicine, bioengineering, and pathology here. And I've been at Duke for 12 years, leading programs in translational genomics and their application to clinical medicine.
And hi, I'm Paola Giusti-Rodriguez. I'm a research assistant professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill in the Department of Genetics. And I've been at UNC since 2012 when I first got here to do a postdoc fellowship.
Excellent. Okay, so if you don't mind, discuss one of your most significant or important experiences that you've shared as a mentor-mentee dyad.
So my main research project has to do with, looking at, it's using a lot of functional genomics tools to better understand genetic findings coming from schizophrenia genetic studies. And so it involves both computational work and wet bench work. And so there's a lot of collaborations and experts involved in carrying out these experiments and planning out, what needs to happen. And a lot of our discussions have been on how to kind of like do program management, how to prioritize things, how to keep things moving along as, there's experiments happening, there's, in different places that are being carried out by different people. There's also papers that need to be written of things that I've already completed and plans for papers for things that are currently being, data that's either being analyzed or that is analyzed and now needs to be written up. I need to also think about what's going to be what are my career goals and how this fits in with my career goals. If, I'm interested in pursuing a career in academia, so how will this research then kind of transform into like a more long-term research plan in other, when I transition. And so we've talked about like transitions, prioritizing, and what I need to do to, to move forward. And so that's been really, really good. A lot of back and forth about timelines and what should be my priorities so that I can move on to the next stage.
And I would say, if I could, that when I first met Paola, she continues to sort of juggle a lot of really important projects that she started both at UNC and also has collaborators here at Duke. As she said, I think a lot of our interactions have been focused on helping her really think through with greater clarity where the focus should be, how to actually manage time and also manage people. She has a lot of people that have expectations appropriately that she's going to carry out some fantastic research, but also they don't necessarily know all about each other. And sometimes she's sort of in like a little squeeze play. And we try to manage that and help her, give her the confidence that she can also manage up to her mentors and her lab directors.
Very good. So Paula, for you, how has the Fellows Program been helpful to you in your research career?
Yeah, so I think it's always good to have like different types of mentors and to have sort of like an outside perspective. And so I like that, Dr. Ginsburg, he's like so he understands my research because he works in like genomics. So we can talk about the actual science and he gets it. And then, obviously he has many more years of experience, as a scientist and physician and whatnot. So he can provide perspective. And also he works with, he's in the same departments of some of my collaborators. So we can talk about sort of like what's happening. And it's very meaningful. So the discussions they provide sort of guidance. And so it's been useful for working on my CV and thinking about the future, sort of like what is the type of research that I want to carry out in like 5 to 10 years too. So, both in the immediate future and more long-term. And yeah, I think it's always good to have, someone that's not maybe like my direct advisor, but someone that's like, in the same sort of field, but that can provide perspectives and advice outside of kind of like my own research bubble.
Good, good.
And I would say, so I think this is a really unique aspect of the Keystone program, is that none of the mentors, as Paola said, are directly involved in the research of the fellows. So we can provide a very unbiased view of what's going on, and speak frankly and objectively about, you know, what's working, what may not be working, and not, you know, from her perspective, I would guess there's no repercussions. You know, if you don't want to complain to the people that you're, you know, directly working under, sometimes that doesn't go over too well. But it's okay to complain to me, and I can, or complain is probably not the right word, but at least, you know, provide some challenges that may not be easily done with the people who are being primarily worked with. So, and I would encourage, you know, for fellows, for mentorship in general, that be the case, but it doesn't always happen. You often look to the lab advisor whose lab you're in, or people that are very close colleagues of yours who you're working with, to provide that mentorship perspective, and having that unbiased view is probably very important.
And one more thing I wanted to add is that, so my current research is very much functional genomics, but I am interested in sort of like maybe thinking about, like, you know, personalized medicine and whatnot, and precision medicine. And so that's one of the things where an area that Geoff works in, that he understands, and he can provide guidance and sort of like, you know, advice into sort of what's happening and where that's going and how it may fit in with my future research.
Very good. So, Geoff, this time I'm going to start with you in terms of being a mentor. What advice would you give to other mentors who are mentoring trainees that you feel would be particularly useful advice?
So, first of all, I think they're being chosen, hopefully, to be mentors because that's something they're passionate about. They feel that you know, the younger generation of scientists, particularly in this program, are the future leaders of science in our country or in the world, and that they really want to help them, and which is certainly something that I feel. We have, at least on paper, a limited amount of time to do this. It's a year. So I think it's also important to set expectations and develop a game plan right off the bat. Don't set the expectations that you're going to do everything, but try to, even for mentors, have to have a focus, and also to communicate, you know, via email, you know, through Zoom or Skype. We're very fortunate to be only 8 miles away, and Paola's colleagues are here at Duke, so we actually have a chance to meet face to face. So I think that's been a significant advantage over some of the other mentee dyads in the program. Just our physical proximity has been terrific. But I would also say, you know, and we haven't really talked about this, but it doesn't have to stop with the program. So, and I still talk to my mentee from last year from time to time, and I would hope that the mentors will not view this as just, you know, a start and an end, but maybe have it continue beyond the year that's currently supported.
Thank you. Yes, I hope so too, and I think that's the way we're going. It looks like that's the direction we're going in, where it doesn't stop at that initial year. Yep. So Paola, for you, what is the one thing you could say, or one or two things that you got out of this experience that you weren't anticipating?
I think that I'm lucky that because Geoff is in the same department as some of the people I work with, so we can actually, like, you know, for like my presentation in June and like a seminar that I'm going to be giving in April, I think that I can actually, you know, practice and like get feedback from him in person and sort of about my presentation skills and not just the science. And so that's something that I think is very meaningful, and that will, you know, be very helpful for in the future. And so, you know, in the meantime, we've been, you know, he's seen, you know, just seen my, like, giving feedback on my CV, and you know, I shared with him sort of like the manuscripts that I'm either working on, that I'm going to be working on in the next year. And so it's been, you know, a very much back and forth interaction, and, you know, definitely, you know, a very fruitful sort of mentor-mentee relationship even though it hasn't been even a year since we've started having our one-to-one meetings. And so I'm very grateful to have been able to, match up with them and to be in the same area so that I can, have a sort of like continuous benefit from our interactions.
Oh, very good. Well, thank you. Thank you both. Do you have any final comments that you want to make?
I'll just say that maybe it's the dirty little secret of being a mentor is that you learn something from all your mentees. Even though they don't think that they're teaching you something, I've learned a lot from Paola about her research and about her as a person. So I really appreciate that too, and I'm grateful for that.